Hey y'all, it's Bobby, and it's been a while. Haven't talked to you guys in a long time. So much has changed since last summer when I was recording very often, and I'm gonna get back to recording. Yeah, so much has changed this past year. Um, let's see here. So my sister Danya has gone missing. She's been missing for 6 weeks now. Right now it is July 26th. And she's been missing since the first week of June. So yeah, so I'm like 7 weeks now. But this is what happened. I'm gonna tell you guys what happened and tell you guys what's been going on with me while I do my makeup and get ready for the day. Okay, so this is what happened. Um, she was living here and having a lot of here being Wichita, Kansas, and we have a trailer here, and I have a trailer here, and she was staying here, and she wasn't doing too well. She was sometimes mentally not there. She had the cops called on her a few times. One time, the cops had called my cell phone because she had been with the cops so much that one of the officers had my personal cell phone number, which really irked me because I just wanted to come here and lay low and not be involved with, any kind of anything with to do with the cops or anything. I just wanted to have a peaceful life, after everything that had happened to me with my ex-husband and in Denver, which all that's in other videos. So anyways, the cops had called me one day and told me that my sister was running naked through a field in Hayesville, Kansas, which is just south of Wichita. It's just a little suburb, in a soccer field. And he told me one of two things. He said, "We know that your sister's mentally ill, but we have to do something here. We can't just let her do this." He's like, "We can either bring her home to you, or we can charge her with indecent exposure, because it's within so far of a school. They would have to charge her with indecent exposure, and she would have to be a registered sex offender." And I was like, "No way, dude." Bring her home. And he's like, "You have to promise me you'll watch her and you won't let her get out tonight or whatever." And I'm thinking, wow, dang, Danya. Because another time I woke up and she was on the floor of my bedroom on the phone with dispatch, and I'm like, "Hang up, you don't need dispatch, And then I fell back asleep, and I wake up and there's two cops in my room, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me, dude? Like, why are there two cops in my room?" But they said that, "Oh, your sister called us. She's worried that there's people or something living under your house," because we live in a trailer, and something's living under your house or in your water heater. And they said, "We know she's mentally ill." Obviously, this was the first time we've had an interaction with the cops, right? This was back in January. And they said, "We're going to check under the house and check the water heater just to appease her, but we'll also talk to her about going to get some mental help." And she was like, just deny about needing mental help. She just ignored them, and basically was like, "Whatever, you don't know what you're talking about. There are folks down there, and you're hiding it for them, and stuff." But anyways, cops left, yada yada. And about every other week from then on, the cops were around here because of one thing or another that she did, or her calling them. And she had threatened to slice my throat. She had punched holes in the walls. She had gone crazy. I don't want to talk ill on my sister, that's missing, so I'm going to stop there. But we were supposed to be on a reality TV show where it was about roommates, and they were going to do 17 episodes, and they were going to pay us really well for those episodes, and we were going to be okay in life, after that. But she wouldn't sign the contract. I was so just mad. She just wanted me to, she just didn't want me to be okay in life. She didn't want me to get, I don't know. She didn't want that. She wanted it for herself, but she didn't want that for me. And I was so upset and so hurt by that. Like, things will never be the same between us because of that, And she wouldn't sign the contract, so that just went away, and it hurt so bad. And then, coming up to the day when she was going missing, when she went missing, we had rented a U-Haul van so that we could get around Wichita, because my van had broke down, and her truck that she had, her SUV that she had, the maroon one, got repoed while her and I were in Walmart. Yeah, crazy. I was sitting out in the truck, and she had gone inside for something. She was taking forever. And so I'm like, man, I'm just going to go in and go pee. I go in to go pee, and I get a call as soon as I sit down. And she's like, they're towing my vehicle. And I'm like, what? Yeah, right. You're just trying to get me to hurry up. So, I take my time, and then I go back out there, and they have her truck on the hook, and they repoed her truck and left us there. They didn't care. Of course not. She owed like $6,000 on it, or $7,000. Anyways, so the next thing, is we wanted to get around town and get some errands done. So I put it on my credit card, and she put it under her name. And we rented a van U-Haul, and she so I filled up the gas tank so that we could return it the next day, and I went and spend time with my daughter over at my mom's house. And so we went over there to hang out, and I get a call from Donnie in the middle of the night talking about that she's at the bar in Derby, and I'm like, oh goodness, now she's gonna be drinking and driving, but it's whatever. I can't, she's an adult, I can't stop her. And then next thing you know, I wake up in the morning, and we had this apps on our phone that showed us where each other was, just in case anything was to happen, and she wasn't answering her phone, so I looked at the app, and she was just west of Salina, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then throughout the day, I kind of tracked her progress, and she made it to the Colorado border, and then she made it to the next town in there. I forgot what it's called, but she made it to that town. And then I guess she went into the hotel, because while she was at the gas station, the U-Haul people had come and taken the U-Haul because it wasn't supposed to leave Wichita. It was supposed to be returned. And so then Danya stayed in that town for about a day, and then she decided to hitchhike all the rest of the way to Denver. Okay, and so that's what she does. She hitchhikes to Denver, and she gets to Denver and doesn't know what to do or what she's doing, what she came there, she knows what she came there for, because she just wanted to be there. So she found herself wandering around our old neighborhood for about 3 or 4 days. And whilst wandering, she met a man that was not a good man. He was not good to her. She didn't know that yet, but she had gone stay the night at his house, and he did some bad things to her, ultimately raping her, violating her, and robbing her for everything she had. And then he took her and dropped her off far away, and she found her way to a hospital and police station, made a report on him. And I talked to her that Wednesday, and her phone was on 10%. It was about to die. She didn't have a charger. She didn't have any money. She didn't have any clothing. She didn't have a spare phone. She didn't have anyone's number in case for when the phone died, And she didn't have a vehicle. She didn't have a home or anywhere to go. So I'm talking to her. While I'm talking to her, the phone dies. And I never heard from her since. I haven't heard from her since, and it's 6 weeks ago. Now, 2 weeks ago, I get this text message from Donya's phone number. Mind you, didn't hear her voice, and it didn't sound like Donya because she called my mom sweetie. She said, when she texted my mom a short little text that said, "I'm okay, thanks, sweetie." Like, what the heck? That's weird. And then to me, someone texted a picture of her face swollen and beat up, like her jaw was all beat up, her eyes were poofed out, and she looked like Frankenstein. And then I was like, what happened to you? Are you okay? Everyone's looking for you. Are you all right? Like, what's going on? And all she said was, I think it was a bug. Or no, she said, the first thing she said was, I shouldn't have gone in there and tried to charge my phone. And I was like, somebody beat you up? And she said, no, it was just a bug. And I'm like, what in the world? And I was like, are you okay? What are you doing? Where are you at? Da 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 da. Nothing back. I got nothing back from her. And so, of course, we did a missing persons report in Westminster, Colorado, and Thornton, Colorado, and Denver, Colorado, and one in Wichita, Kansas, since that's where we live. We had to do one in Wichita, Kansas. And that's the most you can really do because she's an adult, and it's her choice if she doesn't want to talk to her family, We can't make her. But the thing is, her kids haven't heard from her, and since her kids are with our big sister, then you would think that she would get a hold of our big sister, or she would get a hold of our mom, because our mom has the easiest phone number around, so Donya knows that by heart. And point taken, she was in the hospital a couple months ago and called my mom in the middle of the night. She knows my mom's number, but she hadn't called my mom, which really, really, really blows everybody's mind, because that's the matriarch of our family is our mom. And so she was the one that should have all the info, right? But she doesn't. And so, yeah, my sister's been missing. So, and since then I had to get rid of her Piper dog that she had for 9 years or 8 years since she was a baby, she was a baby, excuse me. I just couldn't take care of her anymore, like that was Donya's dog, and this is Donya's cat, Jack is Donya's cat, Donya's kids' cat. And I still have Jack because I just can't let him go, He's just an old man. He's like 9 years old. Sorry, I have to go down to the mirror for this. But yeah, Jack is like 9 years old, and I kept Jack, and